The hadith continues. He said, وإنه سيخرج من أمتي أقوام تجارى بهم تلك الأهواء كما تجارى الكلب لصاحبه. And there shall emerge from my ummah people who the desires run with them, just like rabies runs with the person who is infected by it. Rabies is a disease that usually is contracted by a person who gets bitten by a diseased dog. If a dog that has rabies bites a person, then this is the reason they will catch rabies. Sometimes other animals as well. And rabies is known to be a very infectious disease, such that unless a person is immediately treated, they are not likely to survive. Prophet ﷺ in this hadith, he said, لا يبقى منه عرق ولا مفصل إلا دخله. There's not a single vein or joint that remains in his body except that it will enter it. Except that it will enter it. This is something known in the world of medicine about rabies. That is that it attacks the whole body. And a person who gets rabies sometimes begins to behave in ways that do not make any sense. Just like dogs become rabid after they contract that disease, a person who contracts it also becomes rabid, and they make no sense. In the late and advanced stages of that illness, a person with rabies will be presented with water, and they are extremely thirsty, and they will react to water with fear. This is one of the strangest things that you can ever observe. A person who has rabies, you give them water, and they're extremely thirsty, and they will be afraid of the water instead of drinking it. And this is amazing, because such is the case with innovations. People who allow themselves to get infected with innovations, they can get to a point where they are so late in the stages of infection and so advanced is their illness, the illness of their hearts, with al-bid'ah, that you present them with the pure sunnah, white as milk, pure as purity itself, and they will be afraid of it, and they will look at it as evil. And such is the affair of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the creation. We have nothing to do at this point except for wonder at Allah's overwhelming power, and how the sun may be shining in broad daylight, and someone would be completely blind and unable to see it. This hadith is authenticated by Shaykh Nasiruddin al-Albani rahimahullah ta'ala. Do not ever for a second think that you have any reason to believe that you will be steadfast upon the sunnah. If 72 sects out of 73 of this ummah are all going to be astray, misguided, following their desires, al-ahwa, the different types of innovations, and only one sect is saved and remains upon the sunnah, do not take the sunnah for granted. Rather, ask Allah Azza wa Jal to keep you firm upon it until the day you meet Him. We ask Allah to keep our hearts firm upon the sunnah until the day we meet Allah Azza wa Jal.